this live.
Live stream. Oh, I know why. Hold on a second.
Quick question. If I share my screen and I put this video up, um, I, I've got sound with it. It should be coming through.
With Zoom, it's weird.
I think you need to make sure you're using the system audio, your system audio when you do your share. When you do your share.
For the mic.
Yeah, because you select.
That's me. So I'll mute
yeah,
that.
yeah. You click on the share sound. There's an over on the on the right there. Under options, it'll say share sound. You want to click on that when you want to do that. So, but yeah, that's what you're doing.
I see it.
But let's figure this out. Yeah, let Dan figure this out here real quick. Hey, Wilfredo.
Hey, how's it going?
Good.
I'll just have to change the title later on when we finish it.
Okay.
But we're live now, actually. So
yeah, we're live. Yep.
so let's just keep it at test 2 for right now.
Okay.
And I'll change the title in the studio later.
All right.
I don't want to kind of take time away from the show that was canceled, then not canceled.
Right.
But basically for
here.
those of you that don't know, I mean, there's only 5 of you there. So maybe I'll wait a little bit before I start saying some stuff, but it's a sad day for astronomy, sad week, and we lost a really big guy, not only somebody that's been in the business for over 30 years, but somebody who is a personal friend of mine and of the show that's been a co-host for a couple of years, and sat with us, but let's wait for some people to come in, and and we'll talk about that in a little bit. But that's why it's a Zoom tonight. It was an unscheduled Zoom. We'll still be doing the regular one on next Friday. But this I figured if anybody wanted to jump on and say what you want to say, and whatever, and pay homage to Pete. That's I figured this would be the easiest way to do it. So I spoke to a couple of friends. I originally canceled the show. I spoke to the people here, as well as a couple of people offline, including Sean Nielsen and some other guys, that basically told me that Pete would probably get out of his grave and kick my ass if I didn't have the show tonight.
Yep. Yeah.
So it was something he was very passionate about. So I figured, that I would have to suck it up and just do it. So
Yes.
I'm a little bit mentally drained over the past 48 hours. So if I seem a little out of it, that's why. So
Gotcha. Yeah, I mean, Pete was such a, and I hate thinking of him in the past tense and saying things of him and about him in the past tense, because when you told me, I mean, this rocked me, because he was such a good friend, so damn smart when it comes to this business and this hobby. I if for those who did not have a chance to see see our videos when Pete was on, do me a favor, whenever you have as soon as you have an opportunity, go back, and look for those videos. They're here under live. And these were just a few years back, and he's he was such a wealth of knowledge when it comes to astronomy, astrophotography, teaching people um, about so many different facets of astrophotography, critical focus, buying equipment. We will always keep with us his motto of buy once, cry once, you know, which is to this day, I I try my darndest to follow that. You know, find the right, go for, if you're gonna buy something, buy the right thing or the best thing that you can. And that way you don't have to go back and have regrets about I shoulda, coulda, woulda, and all of that stuff. Um, and he's a funny guy. He loved hockey. He loved this business, and I am saddened, and I'm truly gonna miss him, no doubt.
I wish I
Truly,
had that advice 10 years ago.
no
Ah,
kidding. I tell you,
it
I
wouldn't have
tell
helped
you.
you, Joe. Wouldn't have helped you.
And I remember sitting with him at NEAF.
Yeah.
And you're saying, and he was just such a wealth of knowledge, and he was able to explain things in such, he was so patient. I spent this afternoon trying to think like what exactly specifically was it that he and I were talking about. We all went out to dinner and he and I,
Yep.
spent a good, just kind of we're talking about something, and I was just being dense and not, something I just wasn't clicking, and he was just so patient and so kind and just was able to just like it was just like let me just rephrase it in a different way, and
Mm-hmm.
it just until I finally got it through this thick head of mine, whatever it was. I wish I could remember right now what that conversation was, because it was just something that he was trying to impress upon me, and I was just like in one ear out the other, and he was
Mm-hmm.
just so kind and so, like I said, he did well, let me try it a different way, though. um
I
and
I don't know who that is, and no
Norm.
one's there.
Norm is
Who?
trying to get in.
Oh, there he is. I didn't see him.
Sorry to interrupt you. I'm very
That's
no,
sorry.
okay.
no, that's quite all right. But no, and it's just like I said, he just was just such a kind soul. I
Mm-hmm.
just so enjoyed every time I was able to talk to him. He was just always so pleasant, and just always seemed so positive about everything about this hobby and this community. And he's going to be really sorely missed.
Yes. I mean, he knew so many people in the community, so many people in the industry. I mean, he was working for Woodland Hills. He was
Electrical
the,
structures.
yeah. Um, most recently, who was he working for? But he got let go.
Teledyne.
Teledyne. I mean, he was the plane wave guru. You mean building out plane wave systems and everything. Um, and I mean, we had, when we, would be, at NEAF and we had dinner, just like, to your point, Jesse, there are things that are just flat out just over my head. I'll be honest. They just, I just don't get it. But Pete really did. He took his time and he explained things to me. We had times where we were having drinks, and we were having drinks like until 1 or 2 o'clock in the morning, and just
Yep.
talking about this stuff, and I was learning about, him personally. He enjoyed being outdoors. He enjoyed, California in that spot. I heard that where he was, he had some pretty decent skies.
Oh yeah. Oh
Uh,
yeah.
you know,
And if you
uh,
didn't have him, he'd run up to the vineyard. Uh,
yeah,
and that's what he'd do. But you know, uh, I don't know.
I know, man. I know it's hard. I know it's hard. Um, And the biggest thing is that I would, like I said, I would like everybody to take away from this is he honestly lived life to the fullest. I mean, here he was, I mean, in his 70s and he's playing hockey and he's enjoying life. He's doing things that he loves. And that's the way I want to be, remembered too, doing the things that I love. And yeah, it's gonna be tough. To know that his his light is gone now, and that we've lost somebody in the community he was truly impactful. I mean, go back and watch our videos and listen to him talking and explaining to our viewers, and in between, my little spiels and presentations, he had his presentations, and they were extremely educational and very helpful. And he made things for people to help. He made things easy for people to understand, because like I said, me, there's things still, it'll go over my head, but he took his time, and he wanted to make sure that people understood, you know.
Well, I can add my 2 cents in this. Oh, what's the matter? Is my mic too low?
Way low.
Maybe a little. Yeah, it's really low, buddy.
Hold on.
Yeah, I can't switch it from here with the Zoom.
Okay, wait a minute. I didn't even know. Is that any better?
No.
No.
Keep it going. Keep it cranking.
Hold on a second.
I'm like past like the shock of it.
Mm-hmm.
I'm more into like the anger of it now,
Mm-hmm.
because this is something that probably could have been avoided.
Yeah. Is that better?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. I can add my 2 cents in on this. When I started, as a lot of you guys know, and the ones that don't are gonna. I've been a photographer for a long, long time, professional photographer, and in the right around 2016, 2017, like that, I started looking for a new challenge, and astrophotography presented itself, and I started doing my research, and it didn't take long before I run into Dan. And and Dan was the one that talked me into the Eagle, I got the Eagle. But then after that, I started, because I went big, initially. I think Pete was channeling me before I was channeling Pete before I even knew him. And
You bought once and cried like about for a month.
Yeah.
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 Well, I went around and around, and it turned out that the CGXL wasn't enough of a mount, for the rig that I had built. It was just wasn't cutting it. So Pete talked me into, eventually I wound up at Optical Structures, because I had bought a prototype kind of of a wheelie bar. It wasn't a wheelie bar. It was another manufacturer.
Yep.
And I eventually it just wasn't what I wanted, and I went.
That couldn't fit the Los Mandi at that point.
No, it wouldn't fit the
Couldn't fit the
Los Mandi.
legs. The legs were
That's right.
of the Los Mandi are like 3 inches.
Yeah, they're 3 inches. It's a monster freaking tripod, and so I wound up at Optical Structures, because they had the wheelie bars, and I got tied in with Pete. And Pete basically, he said, okay, how do you want to do this? And you talk about a guy that literally devoted hours and hours and hours and hours. I mean, we talked on the phone for hours sometimes. That's just the kind of guy he was. And
Well, Scott, in all fairness, it's easy to do with you.
well, yeah. That's part and parcel to what happens when you have a big mouth.
Yeah, so instead of being Parker, you're gonna be cold now.
Well, Pete, I was starting to look around for a different mount, and Pete talked me into the Rainbow, you know. And he said, you know, you buy that RST 300 and you'll love it. And he was right. It's a fantastic mount. But you know, through the conversations that we had, you know, going back and forth, eventually I said, Pete, you have got to talk. You have got to meet my buddy Dan, you know, because you guys are kindred spirits, you know, you know, one thing led to another, and before you know it, he was on the show, you know, and Pete had always enough time for everybody. It seemed like, you know, if you had a question, if he didn't know the answer, he knew where to find it, you know. But the thing that always impressed me about Peter was that he didn't let the vastness of his knowledge base, you know, cloud his ego. It didn't impinge on his ego at all. If he didn't know something, he talked about it. He said, I don't know, I'm gonna have to do my research on this. He was always opening to learning more. And I think that's one of the things that made him such a great teacher, was that he basically just had a humble attitude towards this, you know. And I will always cherish the time that I spent with him, you know, on the phone. He was a wonderful teacher, a wonderful mentor, you know. And the rat bastard, you know, was able to get me to spend all that money on that stupid mount.
Yeah.
You know. But you know, eventually it led to all kinds of other things, you know. But Pete he's just one of those guys that, you know, he's just cut from a different, you know, kind of cloth, and just a heart of gold.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I did put together a kind of a memorial, you know. I don't know if we want to wait for more people to come on board, or how we doing as far as number of watchers. But I can play it at any
Let's wait a
time.
little bit. Let's
Just let me
wait
know.
till, you
Yeah,
know.
we can give it a few, but I don't. But as far as watchers and stuff like that, this is about Pete. You know, it's not
Yep.
about, you know, likes and thumbs up and stuff like that right now. But he's the one who truly taught me to buy one, you know, the whole motto buy once cry once, because he used to give me he gave me a lot of crap about, you know, all of my William optics and then getting rid of them.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then basically starting all over again.
Well, it started with the blink, and then it went to the William Optics when you sold it, and
Yeah.
then it came back like a hemorrhoid when you put it back. You know, telling you,
Oh,
I'll never
geez.
forget the time when he was here for NEAP, and I can't even talk about it.
You know, Peter was he was instrumental in you know, developing some of the features for the wheelie bar. You know, when I come on board, they had basically a kind of a stripped down version of a wheelie bar. They didn't even have the battery tray yet. They hadn't figured that out. They didn't have the tie downs. They didn't have any of the you know, those extra features. My wheelie bar was the prototype for all of that.
Wow.
Yeah. I have the very first wheelie bar that had all of those upgrades done to it. And now they're regular, you know,
Yeah,
kind of.
now they're regular. Yeah, because I didn't have those. I have a wheelie bar. I still have my wheelie bar. I'm probably gonna end up selling my wheelie bar, but I've had that thing like forever.
Yep.
And no, I didn't have those features like you had now. Like
Yeah,
you had on yours.
Peter was, you know, that all came about from, you know, us talking about how are we going to build this? Because putting a C14 on a tripod is a challenge.
Yeah.
You know, and the Losmonde heavy duty definitely fit the bill for that. But then how do you tie it down? You know, you're talking about putting it on a harmonic mount, you know, and it's top heavy. So how are you going to tie it down? You know, how are you going to secure it?
Secure it. Yep.
And you know, if you've never seen the videos that I put out, you know, that talk about that whole process and how that came together, but it was both Pete and Dan had a huge influence in that. I mean, just a huge influence in that, you know. And it's a funny story with that too, is that tripod, I got that tripod for free. Because I bought the tripod secondhand with the mount. You know, it came with the mount, and thanks to Dan and others, you know, we were able to turn that mount around and sell it for more money than I bought the whole thing for. So I got the tripod for nothing.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Nice. Oh man. Yeah, it's this hobby, honestly, it's probably one of for me personally, speaking personally, has been one of the best adventures and best things I've ever done, because to be able to connect with people like you all and people
AstroWorld
like
Web.
AstroWorld Web. What?
Sorry, I forgot I was not on mute. I'm
Oh,
sorry.
you're fine. You're fine. I was like wondering what. But you know,
I had to get another
mm,
bottle of wine because
yeah, it's all good, bro. But to meet, to meet people like you all, and especially Pete, this community, this is why I love being in this community. It's because it is so open to and welcoming to people, and teaching this, because he would say, this ain't easy.
No.
This ain't easy. So
I remember when Dan first asked me to join the show.
uh-huh.
And, I had known Dan, but Eric, I did not know you. I didn't know Pete, Scott. I didn't know any of you guys, so I got on, a call with Dan, talked to him a little bit about it. I was like, okay, I'll give it a try. And listen, I mean, I think I told you guys, I was like, I am terrified, absolutely terrified. But and again, this is going back several years, but and I remember, I mean, yeah, Eric, you were very welcoming, and Pete was, I mean, he was just so welcoming. And
Yeah.
by the time I got all, I mean, you guys were all great. And, and it was just, I felt very intimidated because like you guys have so much more knowledge than I do, so much more experience, each individually, and then combine it. And I'm like, I might as well be shooting with a 110 camera some days. But I remember, just the conversation that we had after the show. I mean,
Mhm.
I remember the gist of it. And I remember once I logged off and just thinking like, just this is a great bunch of people. And I just, and again, I'm still going back. I wish I could remember the exact words, but I do remember, Pete talking to me and he's like, you're going to be, you're going to do great. And, just so very welcoming. Just such a
Yeah.
kind soul. Just
Yeah.
such a kind soul. I got to meet him in Neef, but I never really got to, I didn't have the same relationship with that you guys did, and especially in the past couple of years because I've kind of dipped out on you. I'm sorry.
Yeah,
But
you suck.
It's all
You
good.
suck.
It's okay. It's okay. It's okay.
but it's
It's all
and
good.
I just
We're not
remember, and I
hurt.
do
We're not
remember.
hurt. We're not hurt. I'm just letting you know. We're not hurt.
I'm
It's okay.
sorry.
It's fine. It's okay.
Sorry.
It's okay.
I'm
You're
sorry.
back now. It's okay. All forgiven.
And I will be better. I promise. I will be better.
Like a recovering alcoholic,
Yes.
Oh man.
I speak from experience.
But yeah, I mean, he was the one who really, I mean, got me really kind of interested, like in the Dahl Kirkhams, in these plane waves, and I was like, I will never be able to afford one of these things, but to be able to check, but he knew so much. It was like, man, he just pulled me in. I'm not. Maybe someday I'll get a CDK 12 or something, but
The little one.
a little one, a little one, a little one, a little one. Not as bad, just a little one. But yeah, I mean, because he would talk to us and tell us, about him going to universities, and with he's part of Woodland Hills, he would be going to universities and other places, and he'd be making these sales.
Yep.
I remember him talking about the sales that he was doing to have making thing, getting equipment shipped down to Chile.
Yep.
And I'm just like, and he's talking about, you know, the design, because he's setting things up, he's designing and putting these systems together
Yep.
for people so they can set them up down in Chile. And I'm just like, this dude knows his shit. Like, wow.
If there's one other thing that Pete loved was his wine.
Yeah.
And let me tell you something. On Easter, when he was here,
Uh-huh.
I got him so effed up. Now, if you've ever seen a guy that's his height, 6'4", he lived in my house for a week.
Yeah.
6'4" on a 5'9" couch, totally shit faced. Oh my God, it was the funniest thing because we went to the Islander game that night, and I was like, come to an Islander game with me. We couldn't get it, didn't link up with the Toronto Maple Leafs, but I think it was Carolina we saw, but we went there and went to the bar. We went to the Hyundai Club. You know, we did all that, and then we came home, opened up 2 bottles of wine. There's Pete, probably about, I don't know, it's like 12 or 1 o'clock in the afternoon on Easter Sunday. It's me, my mother-in-law, my wife, and there's Pete. Pass the
Yep.
fuck out on the couch.
Yep.
He's got one leg up. That's his legs are his legs were really long. It's like his legs were like freaking like 3/4 the size of his body. It's like, you know, so you have one leg on top of the couch, the other leg on the bottom, and the other arm. The dog is licking his fingertips. But let me tell you, you know, he was, you know, Pete was not without his evil streak. He definitely had a strong feelings on certain things, and he was not afraid to spit them out.
Spit him out. Yeah.
And that's one of the things I'll miss from him.
Yeah.
He was
We
straight
had many of those
shooting.
conversations online
Yeah.
on
Oh yeah.
chat. Yeah.
Yeah, well, it's you know, imagine on the chat and now behind the scenes where it's not filtered.
Yeah.
It's a completely different monster, and he was such a good guy, man.
Yeah.
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 Yep. Heart of gold.
Yeah, the
Absolutely.
bark globules.
Yeah.
Look at that little bark globule over there. Look at that. You see that? Zoom in on that thing right there. Zoom in. It's right there. Down, left, to right, down, right, left. Yeah. Oh, yeah, right there.
Oh, geez. Ah. But like I said, man, he lived, man. He did. Freaking live, dude. I mean, you say, like you were saying, Dan, I mean, his wine, his hockey, his, you know, his knowledge, everything, man.
I
Dude lived.
really tried to get, and Amazon screwed me, by the way. I really
up?
tried to get a Toronto Maple Leafs hat for tonight,
Yeah.
but Amazon
Yeah.
screwed me.
No.
So I ordered it. I had it overnighted, and now it's late night. So
Of
it's not open.
course.
So maybe Wednesday I'll wear it. But I would never ever wear a Toronto Maple Leafs hat for any godforsaken reason because of the John Tavares thing. But oh my God, I'll wear it for Pete though. But that's about it. Maybe one day a year I'll
What?
wear it. You know,
Yeah.
just in memoriam. I'll
Yeah.
put it in the back. But
Yep.
yeah, so apparently what happened, you know, again about what happened was he was playing hockey. It looks like it was a head injury. He went to the hospital, was cleared from the hospital, went home, and died a couple of days later.
Wait, clot?
I can't hear you. What?
What was it, a clot or something?
I'm still getting dribs and drabs because Pete didn't have a lot of family, man. He had nobody. He was a divorced person. And, you know, I could have sworn he told me he had kids, but I spoke to some other friends of his and he didn't have any kids. Maybe he was talking about another wife. I don't I don't know what he was talking about, but I swear he said he had 2 kids that were married, but I don't know. That's I could have heard it wrong, but You know, he left the hospital with a clean bill of health, but it's just one of those things where maybe he just got hit the wrong way and something happened. He had I'm still getting little bits of information from all these different sources from the Astro community. So
Yeah.
it's like kind of like
More than likely, it was an aneurysm.
more than likely it was. That's my guess, is some sort of cranial, either aneurysm or something like that, where it was a bad hit to the head that just wasn't wasn't caught.
Yeah.
It could have been, you know, I think it could have been, you know, this didn't have to happen, you know.
He was
But
what, 62? I think you
72.
72. He didn't look 72.
No.
Yeah.
I don't know.
No.
I'm
Not at all.
I'm 65, and I
And
couldn't
you
even.
look 72.
No, I feel 72. Trust me, because to tell you honestly, like sometimes my younger girl wants to play basketball with me, and I'm like, really? I'm like,
Well,
oh my god! But and I just don't have the energy. I mean, I've got that 5 minute energy, and then after 5 minutes, okay, let's do something else.
yeah.
Mm.
What can we watch TV? Yeah, but it's
But to play hockey, that's a totally different kind of energy. You know that.
well,
Yes.
you know, he just won his tournament that weekend,
Wow.
and he took first place. And you know, I spoke to him that Monday. Hey, how'd the tournament go? We won. Ah, congratulations. Yeah, when you come by for Neve next year, we'll get a drink.
Mhm.
Mm.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but you know what? When Eve comes around next year, there's no reason why you can't have a drink.
Oh, absolutely.
Oh, I'll have a couple.
That's right.
Absolutely.
Maybe we can all
Absolutely.
join you for one.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, for sure.
I'll put a picture up there.
Yep.
It'd be nice if we could memorialize, you know, maybe some of his gear. I don't know. I have no idea who even has control of his estate, but you know, to be able to get some of the gear that he had and put it in the Texas, you know, setup and do like you know, the Myers Memorial, you know,
That'd be nice.
you know what I mean? To be
Yeah.
able to get, you know, because I mean, Pete had some beautiful equipment.
You did.
Yeah, and it was well taken care of. And
Yeah, it
everything.
was.
You know, I mean, I couldn't even tell you. I mean, I couldn't. You know, I mean, we spoke on a weekly, if not bi-monthly basis,
Yep.
and you know, I couldn't even tell you who was in charge, involved, whatever. I don't think anybody can.
Mhm.
Maybe his ex-wife. I don't know.
Mm.
I don't know if he had a brother or a sister. I really don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But you know, when he was here, we were hanging out, we were just talking. It was just like it's been said a number of times. It's all about in the moment stuff. You know what I mean? It's all about in the moment stuff. And it wasn't really. We spoke some of it. I mean, I got stories from him that it's not, you know, made for, you know, the public forum.
Right.
But you know, I mean, I could tell you some. Oh my God, I could tell you stories. But, it's just he had no family. He just had his work, and that's why when he got let go from Woodland Hills, or well, actually he didn't got let go. He quit.
He quit Woodland Hills.
He
Yeah.
quit. He quit in a fury.
Yeah.
He quit at Neef. At that Neef, he quit.
I remember.
Uh,
Yes.
and he was searching around for jobs, and he landed at Teledyne, which was really good for him. And then unfortunately, because of, and I'm not talking about Teledyne's business model, but they're very high end. They're James Webb's caliber stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And they actually did a lot of the infrared sensors on the James Webb. And it just there's a lot of money when you sell one or two, but it's tough to sell those ones or twos. So it you know, it started to contract. The business started to contract, and he
Mhm.
was a new guy on a totem pole. So about 3 months ago, they let him go.
Yeah.
So he's been looking around for a job, and then he fully embraced fully embraced retirement, and looks like he was having a great time and dealing with hockey and dealing with what he wants to do to enjoy himself.
Yeah.
And for the last 3 months, as far as I know, that's what he was doing, and he was doing it the way he does things, all out.
And that's the way you should. And that's the way you should, man.
Yeah.
That's the way you should. You live life, all out. And he exactly he did that exactly. So
This is how naive I am about astronomy, high-end astronomy equipment, super high-end astronomy equipment. When you said he worked for Teledyne, the first thing that came to my head was, I have toothpaste that's called.
Oh my gosh! You know what? I'm glad you said that because that was the first thing that popped into my mind
Not
too.
not
Because-
Sensodyne.
no, not since you know what
That's
when
what it
you know
is.
what when he first told me that when he first told me he was working for Teledyne, I was like, "You're working for the Terminator, you're working
Terminator,
for
right?
Cyberdyne,
Terminator.
Cyberdyne?"
That's what I thought.
That's what I was thinking. I was
You
like,
still got that,
"Holy
you still got that
cow!"
arm and the chip,
Exactly, and the arm and the chip and everything. It's like you're the reason why we're gonna have Judgment Day.
Yeah.
Oh my
Can't
goodness.
believe I was like, until you mentioned what it was, I was like, okay, I am stupid.
No, I mean, Teledyne is very, very DoD grade,
Mhm.
that kind of stuff. So the normal person, I mean, the chip that I saw, and I got a picture of him with the chip, right?
Yeah.
He had 2 credit cards like this. I don't want to show my credit card number, but he had 2 credit cards like this in front of the chip, like that, and it was bigger than that. It was
Yeah.
it was like the chip was like this.
I remember him showing that.
Yeah. Yeah.
And
Yeah,
it was amazing. It was a $1.7 million sensor.
Yeah, I remember him showing us that.
Freaking crazy. It was and the housing of it looked like a hubcap. That's how big the housing was.
Yeah.
It's like the moon behind Wilfredo's head. That's how big it. So the sun, not the moon. The sun.
I was like,
I'm sorry, man. My
yeah,
brain's
like,
not working.
all
I'm
right,
sorry. So like
all-
imagine the sun being the housing and Wilfredo's head being the chip. That's like
Can't imagine how much a camera like that would cost.
the sensor was almost 2 million. The
Yeah.
entire camera was something like 12.
Yeah.
It was some crazy amount.
some insane.
I think some of that
insane
stuff,
number.
it's like I hear the name of it and go, yeah, no, it's not even close. It's not even occupy any space in my brain because it's never gonna
Yeah.
happen.
I go chroma, and that's about it.
Yeah.
That's about how much I spend on filters. That's about it. Actually, I don't even spend that much on filters. But
Speaking of filters, did you guys get any kind of an email about Astrodon?
oh yeah, I spoke about that like 2 weeks ago.
About the whole lawsuit or whatever? Now they're
Yeah,
renaming
no,
themselves, rebranding themselves or whatever.
If you want to know, well, I don't want to get into the whole back end of this because I know a lot about it.
Yeah,
Yep.
yeah.
And I don't want to put it out there because I've been drinking and I might say something wrong.
Well, there was some stuff that was put out via email.
Yeah, I know, but I know stuff beyond that.
Right,
So if
right.
If you want to know about that, we could talk offline about that. But yeah, there's a lot of stuff going on with Astrodon and what was the name of the company? COK or C
Something, yeah. I can't recall.
Well, it was
Yeah.
originally owned by Optical Structures.
Yeah, it was Kerry Clearboard.
Carry, yeah.
Hold on a second.
Freeboard.
But am I wrong? I thought I'm under the impression that Farpoint bought Astrodon.
Well,
Yeah, it was something from Farpoint, I believe.
It went from OSI. Well, so Carrie bought. I can't talk about this. I can't. I'm not going to talk about it. I can't.
Yeah.
Well, that's what I was under the impression because today I happen to get.
So Joe, in the end of it, yes, you're exactly right. Farpoint did have the final Astrodon license.
today I got an email from Farpoint
Yeah.
stating that they're back to selling the what do you call it, filters.
Yeah, it's right here because it was something about Astrodon filters are coming back because that's what I got today. It's like, well, sort of.
They're being rebranded as
CXB.
another name though.
CXB Astro.
CXB. Now,
Yeah.
now CXB. What else begins with C?
Chroma.
No, and
So
the name I
Astron?
just said.
So
Well, Chroma
Not-
originally made the filters for Astrodon when Astrodon owned.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. That's true. But Don Goldman came up with the technology for the coding of
Right.
them. And that's listen, you and everybody in astrophotography knows the technology of the coding is what makes the filter.
No
The glass
doubt.
is the glass.
No doubt.
mhm.
Glass is the glass. I mean, I can make this a filter if I wanted to. But would I get anything? No, it'd be crap. Because there's no coating except for a slight coating of wine at this
Now,
point.
the one thing I learned from Dick this past week, a guy from Chroma, I don't know if this is what he said to me. He goes, the coating is not on the outside of the glass. The coating is on the inside of the glass.
Yep. And it's covered with more glass.
More
Yeah.
glass.
It's a
Yeah.
sandwich. It's
I
a
didn't-
it's a laminate.
I didn't know that. I didn't
Yeah.
know that
Yeah.
whatsoever, because when you look at those filters, they definitely don't look like they're two pieces put together.
No, it is nanometers thick. It is so slim.
Yeah.
That
Well, it has to be that way. Can you imagine trying to clean that? I mean, you'd destroy the
The film.
film.
Yep.
It has to be sandwiched.
yep.
I didn't know
What
that.
was I remember when I was with you guys up in Neath, a few years back. You guys were getting some. It was a particular cleaning set, or cleaning kit or
Yeah, the
whatever.
Oh,
red
yeah.
contact.
Yeah,
What?
yeah.
What was that?
Red contact.
Red contact. Okay, because
Yeah,
my
it's
gear
by,
has it is beyond where flats are going to fix it. I mean,
Yeah.
I need to do a
I
little
wish
bit
I
of
had it.
image
Who was
control.
it?
Hold on.
I would tell you also, if you go on YouTube, there's a lot of good YouTube videos that'll show you how to put that stuff on and how to clean. And
Yeah, how to
take
clean
off.
it.
And it's red contact. Okay, because I'm pretty
Yeah.
sure that is a spider that
Photonic
is kind of
cleaning
sparky.
Yeah,
technology.
it's photonic cleaning solutions.
Yeah, photonic cleaning technologies. The guy's name is David Geeson. He's the brain and the guy behind the business.
Yep.
Okay.
Him and his wife do a great job, and
Yeah.
but you got to make sure, number one, when you get the cleaning solution, make sure you also get the proper O-rings as well.
Right.
Yep.
So it doesn't. I literally have probably 10 or 12 different O-rings.
Okay.
Just to do, if you wanted to do your whole corrector plate, let's say for you, but they say you don't need it, but I also got the corrector plate and the one for the secondary.
Okay.
So nothing goes in there, it's liquid, it's a viscous liquid, but it's kind of, it can get in there, right? So, or at least my brain thinks it can get in there.
Mhm.
A lot of people say they're not going to get in there, but whatever. But make for your eyepieces of use, for filters, get the proper O-rings
Okay.
so it doesn't go under the housings of the thing or get stuck. Because I've had situations, I tested them on cheap filters,
Mhm.
and just to kind of see it without the O-ring, and there's one little piece of red contact that I just can't get out,
Oh no.
and it's like coming out on the side of the housing of the
Yeah.
filter. So
You're talking about mounted filters.
Mounted filters. Yeah.
Yeah. So make sure that you got that. With unmounted filters, you obviously don't need an O-ring. You're just gonna need the mesh,
The mesh
that
tape,
comes
the
with it.
little
Little
piece,
pull tabs,
yeah,
yeah.
the little
the
pull
pull
tabs, yeah.
tabs.
Okay.
One or the other will be fine. Just do the biggest mistake that I see with red contact solution when people use it is either they put too much on,
Mm-hmm.
or they don't leave it long enough to dry.
Okay.
Right.
One or the other. So if you think it's still not dry enough, wait.
Wait.
If you're asking yourself that question,
I've waited this long, you know. I mean, let's say
Yeah.
I got the Melee is up and running. That is a start. Now I just have to kind of do a little bit of, you know, I've had my mount sitting under a telegizmo. I get a telegizmo out, you know, dust it off, say hello, and I've had my optical tube sitting on top of it. Then a storm comes through, I bring it in. Right now it's, you know, sitting in my bedroom. So it, you know, I say hi to it, but you know, it needs a little bit of love and maintenance. So
Yeah, well, you
Yeah.
know, nothing's better maintenance than actually getting out there and using it. So,
fact.
you know,
Fact.
get
About
out
another
there and use
about
it.
another month and a half when the trees, I mean, you've seen my tree issue. It has not
Oh
gotten
yeah.
and my summer where I usually image in the summer, I mean, honestly, how many times can I shoot the dumbbell nebula? Like that's it. That's all I've got. I just have no tree over, you know, no
Well, you should be great at it now. You should put up a picture of the week.
right?
Ah.
But I'm hoping when I move it back over to the winter and to my winter spot, you know, everything will be rocking and rolling. But though I will say I did talk to my neighbor about 2 or 3 houses down. He does all sorts of random stuff. He was dropping off some extra mulch he had, and we just got to chit chatting. And I was like, hey, by the way, do you take down trees? You know, let's talk about trees. And, you know, he actually, you know, does know how to do it. And hopefully will be reaching out to me in the next couple months and maybe take some of those problem trees out of my.
There you go.
Well, I,
Sweet.
Nice.
I tell you what, I ended up getting a next dome in my yard, set it all up, everything going, and all of a sudden there was a tree problem. Okay.
Oh, no.
So a month later, I took down 18 trees off of my property. And I literally opened up the whole view.
Nice.
A month after that, the city decides to put lights right behind my house.
Oh, you
And
told me
like-
about that.
And I was like,
Oh.
what the hell just happened? Matter of
Oh.
fact, to be honest with you, and nobody's gonna rewatch this, I used to take a BB gun to shoot those lights out. I was like, and when there's something 3 days later, they put new lights on. They can't fix a pothole, but they're gonna fix the light.
That's crazy.
Okay. So then after
Mm.
that, I just gave the dome away to somebody in my club.
Mm,
I gave the pier away to someone in my club, and I moved everything over to Texas.
right on.
You know, and that's what you see behind me.
Oh, okay. Okay. Nice.
I'll tell you, you know, I still got that airsoft sniper rifle that shoots at about 1,200 feet a second. So, you know,
Nah.
I don't have a real gun, but you can have that.
But in reality, I mean, don't get me wrong, I used to do okay.
Mm.
But the glow dome from Manhattan killed me.
Yeah.
I don't want to hear it.
Killed me.
I don't want. My light dome from Manhattan extends 40 degrees.
Wow.
That's
You-
ridiculous.
You look in the West, and the West is unusable under 50.
Mm.
It's unusable. I tried to do a Messier marathon from Long Island visually.
Mhm.
Mhm.
Visually.
I remember that.
This was a long time ago.
Yeah.
And getting those first couple in Virgo, if you've ever done a Messier marathon, you start in the West and you work your way east, because if you don't start in the West, right, you're
You're
gonna
gonna miss 'em.
miss. You're gonna miss them, and you're never gonna get them. I was only able to get about, there's like 7 or 8 in Virgo. I forget how many that are over there, but there's a lot of them, and they start at like 20 to 30 degrees above the horizon once the sun sets, right in the friggin' schmutz. I got 1 in Virgo. That's how bad the light dome is in Manhattan. I ended up, over the course of the night, I got 81 out of the 110.
That's not bad. That's not too shabby.
Yeah. So I was
Is
able
that the
to
first
get.
one? Is that the first Messier marathon you've done, or
No, I've done a couple,
Oh,
but
okay, okay.
that's the most I've ever done.
that's still pretty decent.
The only time I got more than that, and I don't even count it because I was with a friend and we got them all, but
Nice.
it was with a 16-inch Meade and a manual dome.
Mm,
Okay, out in Custer Observatory in Bortle 4.
okay.
So I don't count it, because let me tell you something. We did this. It was a manual dome, a manual concrete dome. Okay. This is a dome where it had handles on the inside, where you had to move
Mm-hmm.
the dome
Mm.
like this. So it was me and my buddy Dennis moving the dome over and over to get it. And
You got
He
your
was-
workout. You got your workout.
wow, let me tell you something. I have not felt so much pain in my life. It was bad. The only thing that beat that was a spinal tap I got when I was 7. Horrible.
Oh, yeah.
So is that a Creedence Clearwater Revival shirt? What is that, Norm?
No, that's the company I work for.
Oh.
CCR, Certified
Uh.
Commercial Restoration.
Come on. You could have said yeah.
Oh, people always say, "Hey, Creedence Clearwater Revival." They
That's
always say it.
That's funny.
See, now that's ridiculous, Corin, when you have, a neighbor with floodlights beaming at your house. You go to
That
Barbados, especially in Barbados and stuff like that. It's like, what are you doing? Is it like, what is the reason to have floodlights that high up and
Barbados.
just in Barbados and just covering everybody's house? I mean, there's got to be some sort of ordinance or something.
When I bought this house in this subdivision, they told us there would not be street lights. That was the thing that sold us on the coming out here in the subdivision out in the country. And about a year after we lived here, they started coming through and putting in street lights.
Probably
And
got
these things are freaking Walmart parking lot street lights. They're 50,
Yes.
50 feet in the freaking air, and they're just bright like a fog light.
Yeah.
And
Probably sodium halide.
and there's one where my building is in my backyard, my observatory straight south is one right there.
Yeah.
And they were going to put one in our front yard because there's always the easement right away, And my wife went out there. I'm so proud of her. She went out there. They had all the digging equipment and everything, and she stood right where they were going to dig and says, "You're not putting that thing in my yard." And they
Nice.
said, ma'am, we have to. And she says, "You're not going to, or you're going to kill me." And she just stood there. And finally, the supervisor showed up, and she said, "You're not putting one in my yard. I don't care where you put it. You're not putting it in my yard." "Well, we have a legal right to." And she goes, "You're not putting it in my yard." He got on the phone, made a phone call, and he says, "Okay, man, we won't put it in your yard," and drove off.
Nice.
She stood out there probably 2 hours.
That reminds me of
I was proud of her.
Am I talking? Yeah, okay. That reminds me of, what was that? The Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy,
Yeah.
where Arthur Dent lays in front of the bulldozer.
Yeah.
They put him down.
Yeah.
Corin, I would love to lend you my air gun, but I am not sending that in the mail to Barbados. Sorry, I'm not doing it.
ATF will be knocking on his door.
Oh God. I will not be doing that.
Hey,
Where
Dan,
where are you seeing Chad at, then?
I got it on my second
YouTube.
monitor on YouTube.
I didn't see it come up on YouTube.
Yeah, it's there.
hey, Dan, I saw the video from, I guess it was a couple months back, Starfront. Now they have 11 buildings,
11, yeah.
11, and 9 of them are almost fully occupied.
Yep, that's right.
Wow.
But I was on for the customers, they have kind of a like get-togethers on Discord, voice channels, kind of like a Zoom. And I was on it last night. It was me and Woodland Hills and Dustin, and the regular offenders that are over at Starfront, just talking about different kind of setups and all that kind of stuff. So I'm trying to get the word out for the business. That's why I was there. But it was cool to kind of hang out with Larry, who's at Woodland Hills now. I haven't seen Larry in a couple of years. As a matter of fact, coincidentally, the last time I hung out with Larry was with Pete Myers. We all had dinner at the steakhouse at Neef. What was that, 2022 or 2023? Neef, and yeah, it was a good time. It was a good time.
I should have gone this past year. It's only 20 minutes away from my house.
I know you suck, dude. What the hell?
I don't know. It's just one of those.
You're gonna drive all the way to Long Island for a camera, but you won't drive 20 minutes to Neef to hang out.
I wanted to meet my buddy. That's what it was.
Oh, okay. All right. Oh,
But I tell you what, I guess I guess it's got like a slight beard, young fellow.
what up? You're chipping in and out. You're chirping.
I'm sorry, the guy who did the video. Um, he had a slight beard. Does he own a couple of those setups?
The guy that did it, what?
At Bray Falls.
On the Discord?
No, no, the video on YouTube of Starfront.
Yeah,
That's Bray
Bray.
Falls.
That's
It.
Bray.
That's yeah. He's the owner.
He's
Well,
he's one of the owners or something like
Yeah.
that. So,
Isn't he?
all right.
I'm not going to get into the politics of that one. But no, if you want to know about that on the sidelines, let me know.
That triple setup looked awesome with the.
Oh yeah, he's got the 8-inch Rosses, the triple setup on the JTW mount. Let me tell you, I mean, he crushes. He crushes it. He does some awesome freaking work. Let me tell you.
But he's got more than one mount.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
but he's got the one mount with the triple Rosses on it.
Yeah.
I mean that's great. That's
Yeah, but
crazy.
wait a second. Wait a second. Hopefully, I'm not breaking up.
No, you
If you
good.
get it, if you get a chance to look at the video where he's standing next to his triple mount, why is there a water bottle duct taped to the weights?
He said he made a comment about that because he was trying to counter something he put on the other side, and he showed his other telescope. It's got like 3 water bottles taped to it.
I was like, why buy weights? I didn't know I could do that.
Oh, come on! In the beginning, I had a Dr. Pepper can taped to my weights.
You know what I had? I had a bungee cord once wrapped to an 8-pound dumbbell hanging in the wind. I don't ask me why. I forgot my counterweights one night, and I had, for whatever reason, I just bought these, and they were in my car for like 3 weeks. I bought a pair of like 8-pound walking weights,
Right.
and they just happened to be in my car, and I had bungee cords. So I was like, I wrapped it around the mount, and it's in there. I'm sure that my guiding was horrible because they were probably swinging in the wind.
I had
Whatever.
something like that on my Mead 6000. I had it
Did
was
you have
one of
the dog bone? Who had the
What's that?
dog bone? Somebody had a dog bone,
the dog bone.
like
So
a
it was
weight,
dog
a
bone?
dog bone weight. That was like, yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
That's
it was one of
weird.
those like the leg weights that you put on, and I had it wrapped around the end just because the way as short as it is, I just couldn't push it forward on the mount far enough. And so I don't remember. I'd have to go back and look at my photos, but I just needed a little bit of extra weight, I think, on the end of it, and just wrapped it. It worked.
There you go.
Worked.
Ankle weights work.
Temporarily, but it worked.
Yeah, I'm on mine. I just needed the slightest little bit of weight, not enough to warrant buying a whole weight. So I started taping things onto the weight bar and it was a Dr. Pepper can, made it just perfect. So it was that way for a long time.
At one point I had 35 millimeter canisters with shotgun pellets.
There you go.
I had about 6 of them wrapped around with duct tape. Like that.
That's a hillbilly rig. You know that, right?
Oh, hey, you got to do it. You can only work what you can
Necessity.
work with, right?
Necessity.
we are good at MacGyvering stuff,
Yeah, totally. Totally.
You remember the LX850?
Of course.
You remember what kind of weights they had?
Was those the square ones?
The ones that screwed onto the.
Oh, yeah.
What a pain in my. That was like a 15-minute ordeal just putting the weights on, because I used to set that up and take it down, set it up and take it down until
Loctite.
I was like the weight screwed onto the bar, and what a pain in the butt that was.
Yep, I remember that. I do remember that.
Thank God I got rid of that mount too.
Well, meat mounts were not very
Dependable.
They weren't very good. They weren't very good. I'll even go as far as to say that the Celestron mounts are right just behind them.
Very close.
Yeah, very close. I'm not a big fan of Celestron mounts. I don't like them. I think their scopes, their all their Rosses and their SCTs are top notch. The edge lines really good. Shitty mounts. Sorry. In
Yeah,
my
there's just certain things, people or companies need to realize, you're good. This is what you're good at, and this is what you're not. And stop trying just to make money for the sake of making money.
Yeah.
You're gonna make money. Make the things you're good at, and you're gonna make money. Stop building crap just for it. Because I have an AVX in my garage that collects dust. I had a CGX back in the day before I got my Sim 60, and I got rid of that sucker.
Yeah.
It's just
you know what though, Eric? My very first mount I bought an Equatorial was an AVX, and that thing worked flawlessly. I never had a glitch in that thing one time.
I'm sorry. Mine, you lucked out then. You lucked out then.
I know I did.
Because mine is a piece of crap. I sent that sucker off to Deep Space Products to get it hyper-tuned.
It came back worse.
It came back worse.
Yeah. I'm not kidding you.
I got my AVX when I fried the board of my Skywatcher, like at the beginning of July years ago. And I'm like, I'm a teacher. I'm off in the summer times. I just fried my board. I've got no mount. I need something. So AVX. I probably would have liked it better if I bought it before I got the Skywatcher. But going from from the Skywatcher to the AVX, I was like, oh, that was definitely that downgrade, and it's just never been able to compare. But on its own,
I'm sorry, that's like on par with okay, you that's like, I don't know, a really good burger, and then you downgrade. Now you're going to White Castle.
Yeah.
Hey,
like, I mean, White Castle's all right.
Go there.
Castle. Come on, man.
Maybe not White Castle,
but we talk about that a lot with the AVX comes up a lot on the show on a regular basis, where you either get a good one
or you get a bad one,
or you get
a bad one, or you really get a piece of. And that's my point. Is that there's no consistency. It's like hit or miss on what you end up getting. It's like you're like, oh, am I gonna get the really cool toy out of the Cracker Jack box, or am I gonna just get some freaking stick-on tattoos?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Something like that. Remember back in the days, either you got a really cool Jack in the Box toy, or you just got some,
you get the compass or the
compass, exactly, or something, or you just get tattoos.
Jack in the Box toy.
The Cracker Jacks.
My AVX did good up to about 5 minutes. Anything over 5 minutes is when it started getting squirrely. But I could do like 3 to 5 minute shots, and it would do great. But anything over 5 minutes.
I remember when I
can't even do that with my AVX.
I want to say it was Pete. I'll say it was Pete, even if it wasn't. Somebody introduced me to the swing test, right? So does everybody know what the swing test is?
Oh yeah.
So.
Okay, so basically, you hold the mount down and you let it go in RA, and you put the counterweights on it with no scope, and you just drop it from 90 degrees and see how many times it goes back and forth.
Yeah.
To judge the viscosity of the grease and the bearings and all that. So I said I was working at Camera Concepts, and I found an email from Pete back in 2012. I've known Pete for like 13 years. And he's like, oh yeah, do this and see, see what happens. So I go and I go and I put my legs onto the, to hold the legs of the tripod. And I go to the AVX and I loosen the clutch and I hold it with the counterweights and I let it go. And it doesn't move.
Doesn't freaking move.
It doesn't move. With 11 pounds of weight, the thing didn't move. And then it just started slowly going down.
That's mine. That's mine.
I'm like, Pete, it didn't move. He's like, what do you mean it didn't move? I said, it didn't move, man. he's like, well, you're gonna have to take that sucker apart.
Yeah, it's bound up somewhere.
And
So
see,
I
that's my thing. And see, I suck so bad, when it comes to these mounts. I am deathly afraid to take these. That's why I send them off. That's
Yeah.
why I send them off.
Yeah, I won't take apart.
I've been in mine 5 or 6 times.
Yeah, I
won't do it.
can't because there's something I know. With my big freaking hands or something, or I got a bad vision or something, I'm going to drop something or lose something, or something is not going to go right. Because hell, I set my 760 off with me trying to quote unquote clean it up and fix it myself. And it's like the email I get back, it's almost like the technician's laughing. Like, yeah, this guy tried to do what he tried to fix it himself. What
Hey,
a
everybody, come look at
moron.
this.
Not what this dumbass did.
In IT, man, it ain't fixed unless you have like 5 or 6 extra screws. When you're done. It ain't fixed unless if you have every single screw put in there, something's wrong.
My first mount was an AVX, and I
Uh-huh.
still have it. And I didn't know about that swing test, but mine it was really, I was trying to take a picture of Jupiter the very first time, and it would just have a lot of backlash to it. So I watched
yeah.
somebody's video and they said, take it apart and do this. And I thought, okay, great. Just like you, Eric, I'm like, I don't want to take it apart, but I was like, I'll watch this video. I took it apart and I thought I did this perfectly. And I felt so great. I was like, it's so tight. It's so nice. I took it out there. I turned it on and it went backwards. And I'm like, what did I just do? I came in, I told my wife, I said, I'm not having a good day. This thing is crazy. It's possessed. It's going backwards. So apparently,
Reverse the polarity.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's me. That's me, Wilfred. It's like, please, just I know what my strengths are. I know where where I lie and I'm not an expert at, and I will be the first one to say, God is my witness. All right, here, I will spend the damn money. Take it.
Yep, I agree. Just like I told Wilfredo today. Wilfredo said, I know what I'm doing this weekend. He shows me like 3 pallets of soil, like sod.
Uh-huh.
And I'm like, dude, what do you mean? What do you got all this stuff for? I said, there's no way in hell I'm doing this.
Well, yes, my wife came out and said, "Oh, it looks so good. We should get some more." And I said, I've only gotten 1 pallet down, and I'm hurting already. I'm tired. I'm ready to fall asleep.
Oh, you got one down already?
Yes.
Oh my God.
Oh
Yep.
man.
What are you working on?
Well, so a couple years ago, we had some trees taken out, and there were some stumps. And I said, "Oh, I'll get the stumps." It's only been 3 years, so a guy came out and gave us a price of like $1,300 to get the stumps out. And I'm like, cheap. So I went to go rent the stump grinder. It wasn't available, so I got a big excavator. Yay.
Oh, Lord.
And I started digging up the stuff, and it left big, gigantic holes everywhere. And of course, it tore the yard up. So now I'm out there straightening it up.
An
And now I had
excavator.
to have sod. And it's just, I'm not 20 anymore. I'm not sure where my years went away, but my back hurts, my knees hurts. This is not fun.
That'll do
It's
it.
not.
No,
you buy the sod, you go to the Home Depot, you get a couple of day laborers and throw it in there. Come on, get with it.
You know what? I don't know where you at, but I have not found any quote unquote day laborers
They're
around
not.
here.
They're not around anymore. Trust me.
Because
they're around.
Not
I
at
not at my Home Depot. They ain't.
our Home
Not
Depot.
down here, they ain't.
They used to be there at 7 in the morning.
Yep.
Oh, now they hide around the corner.
Well, we're not.
There they are.
Hey, look! I get 5 yards of mulch delivered in my front driveway every year to remulch my property.
5
Right?
yards.
5 yards takes
Holy
me
crap.
2. It takes me 2 weekends.
Mhm.
God damn.
That's 5 cubic yards.
I
Yeah.
tell you,
Yeah.
yeah, and it takes me 2 full weekends. And when I am done, my back, my knees, my fingers, everything that moves hurts like you wouldn't believe. Me and Ben Gay are just
And you smell like poop too.
I go to bed, and my wife goes, I'm going to sleep in the girls' room. Goodbye. But I checked it.
Oh,
And my wife goes,
I-
why don't you just
I-
hire a company to do it? Oh, it's the only exercise I get, type of
Nah,
thing.
screw
But then I'm
that. I
hurting
get
like
plenty
hell.
exercise, man. I
You
am
know
not doing
what?
that
You
shit
know
no
what?
more. Hell
Screw
no.
that. Screw that. I'm sorry.
No, I'm
Me,
not
because
doing
y'all,
it.
you guys know my story and my back and all that stuff.
And
So
I don't
I
even
have
have the problems Eric
resigned.
has.
I
still
have
don't do it.
resigned to the fact landscapers hired, done. I don't what how much it cost? It's worth it.
Yep. Because at least you know it gets done every week or week and a half or 2 weeks.
Yeah, yeah.
So,
You know, my
you know-
exercise, I'll get my happy ass out there and I'll just go start walking
Well, when
with
I
my
dug
cane and
out
everything.
2 years ago, 2 years ago, I had this great idea that I was going to do a new pond. And my old pond for my koi was only used to be like 6 foot by 4 foot by 2 foot deep. The new pond is 14 feet by 8 feet by 4 foot deep. So I
That's a
started
swimming pool.
shoveling dirt out and shoveling, and shoveling, right? And I was like, holy shit, I'm not going to be done with this till the end of the summer. I ended up finding these two guys in the neighborhood. They were landscapers. And I said, hey, how much would you charge to dig the hole this big? They gave me a price of $500. Okay, go ahead. Right? those son of a guns, okay, dug that hole in one day.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I felt so bad for them that I ended up giving them $1,000 because I felt guilty. I was like, the way these guys bust their butt, I was like, here's $1,000. You saved me a lot of trouble. So yeah, I can't.
You got any other work you need done out there, Joe?
Yeah, how about it? How about it? My wife is begging that I hire a landscaper to cut our grass, and I just keep telling her, leave me alone. It's the only exercise I get. Otherwise, I'm just gonna.
I went down that road once.
But anyway, I wanted to tell you how does anybody remember their very, very first mount they ever bought? And the telescope for that mount.
Yeah. I remember my first mount. But well, let's first real mount or first just mount altogether?
A first mount that was automated, not say automated, but motorized.
Yeah.
I got talked into a CG5.
I was gonna say that you had to buy the motors for it.
CG5, right? And they said that the telescope for that mount is an 11-inch Celestron.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. Okay. What a big ass mistake. Biggest mistake I ever in my life. That was a point where I was almost going to say to astronomy, okay, goodbye. I can't. But yeah, CG5.
And see, that's what I'm talking about, Joe. You know, people who want to get into this hobby and get into astrophotography, and we talk so much about the mount, how critical the mount is, but you also have still a lot of beginners out there that they just they see a package deal or something like that, and they just assume this is all I need. And then all of a sudden they buy it. They buy the AVX. They buy the AVX with the 9 1/4 on it, or the AVX with the 11, or the actual 11 on it, and stuff like that. And then they try to do this stuff, and they say, and then within, I don't know, a couple months, they're done. They say, I give up.
Yep.
I'm done.
Eric, I think you guys heard the story, but the real kick for me was, and the night when I would start, of course, I'd have to do a polar alignment because I would set up every night, right? Well, by the time I figured out that I got my polar alignment done, guess what? It was 11 o'clock. I had to go to bed because I had to wake up at 5.
Yeah.
And I was like, it was just such a joke. I was like, unbelievable.
Yeah, and now same thing with me. Here I am with my AVX. And in Chicago, you're up there in New York and in New Jersey and stuff like that. And here I am. I'm finally deciding to get into astrophotography. And I'm learning all this stuff like from Trevor and others to talk about polar alignment and all this stuff. And so here I am. I go out and I have my AVX. I buy the Celestron Polar Scope that you put in the back of it and everything.
Oh,
I
God.
get the app, that you have to use to follow. So you have to match up everything. And here it is. It's freaking winter, snowing. And here I am. I'm getting on my hands and knees. My jeans are wet from the snow and everything that's been left over from the night before. And I am bending over and I'm not flexible. So I'm like this, like, where the hell? And I'm just got the flashlight and I'm just like up here, like, what the F? And yeah, when I found that pole master, I was done. I was like sold.
Okay, so I have a question for you guys. One of the last shows that I was on with you guys was right after the Sea Star hit the market. That's how long it's been. So,
Wow.
and
Yeah,
I know
that's been
the
a few
whole
years. It's
community
been a
was
couple
kind of
years.
divided on the Sea Star, oh, this was just too easy, this plug-in, but then the other half is kind of like, well, like this is a good for people who want to get, like, how's that going?
You know what? Keith here in the viewer in the chat, he has a Sea Star and he has done some some really nice photos.
Nice.
Yep.
Okay.
I will say with that Sea Star 50, he's actually done some pretty nice and impressive photos.
If you go to the Facebook group, there's some people putting out some great stuff.
Yeah,
Nice.
yeah.
I know.
they
I took
are.
mine because I did, like, the only Astro I do anymore is I've been teaching an astronomy class. This will be my second year. I teach high school. And I bring the Sea Star in and I let the kids log into it and they take photos and they're just like blown away. Like when I do astronomy, and then my ninth graders, my physical science class, when we do that particular unit, and we could take pictures right, even if we aren't able to go outside because it's too cold and they're whining because they're freshmen. So we can even take pictures through the window. So I love it. I mean, they're not like what you got behind you there, William, but for a 14-year-old kid being able to pull it up on their phone and take photos, and they're like, yo, check it out, so it's great for that. But I'm just kind of curious how the community was, because like that's kind of when I had to go on a hiatus. It was everybody was split. Like half the people were like hating on it, and the other half are like, no, you know what? This is a good alternative for people who don't want to put the time, they don't have the time or don't have the money, So okay. All right. Well, I'm glad to know it's going well. That's beautiful.
Well,
Yeah.
let's put it in perspective here, okay? You really calling it a hiatus? It's been freaking 3 years. I mean, it's kind of like a lady gives birth and she's fat 4 years later and saying it's baby fat.
Oh God, Dan. Oh my God.
That's
Oh,
funny.
Dan.
That's
Leave
funny.
it to Dan to say something like that.
Okay. I have been terrible. I'm sorry.
Oh, Lord.
No filters tonight.
No.
And it's all deserved. It's deserved. I will take
No.
it. I will take it like a champ because you're right. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
You gotta come back, Jess. You always gave us a little bit of stability in the chat. You were always the timekeeper and somebody that was. Now Eric's kind of doing it. He's keeping me
trying
out.
to do it. Yeah.
But you were the one that was kind of like the
Like, come on, we gotta move on.
Let's go. Let's move on.
Let's keep it.
Mm-hmm.
And Eric does a great job doing that, and I don't anymore.
Dan's like, Eric got it now.
Well, I will try you know what? No, I'm not gonna say. I probably won't be able to do every other week, but I definitely can pop back. I miss you guys. I miss the hobby. I miss everybody.
Once a month.
I can do once a month.
Once a month.
I want to tell you.
There you go.
I want to tell you about the Sea Star. My very first experience. I was with a bunch of guys. We went down to Florida, and this guy, one of my buddies, goes, "Oh, I brought my Sea Star." I said, "Oh, really?" And so he puts it on the hood of the rental car that we had, and he starts shooting. It was a full moon, right? And all of a sudden, I'm looking at this, and I was like, "Don't you have to like polar line it or anything?" Or anything? He goes, "No, it does everything all itself and this and that." All of a sudden, he started taking some images, right? I was like, I kept looking at this, and then it was stacking them, and then all of a sudden he presses this AI, whatever it is, right? And I went, holy shit! I said, what? I said, I've got like each one of these piers is probably close to about 40 or 50,000. And there you have $499 and you're doing images as good as I can. I'm like,
No,
no,
I don't
I'm
think
gonna
so.
look.
Some
No
of those
way.
images are impressive, though.
Look,
I will say
look,
some of those
they're
images
very
are impressive.
Want to know something? They're very impressive. As a matter of fact, if when I used to do my class at Montclair University, the students used to come out and they take images and then they have to write a paper on and all that stuff. My equipment and this and that, but I'm sorry, I was highly impressed at what that star was doing with the full moon.
Yeah,
I don't even those telescopes don't even turn on a full moon. Okay, because once I mean the glow is just terrible for me. And I know I could probably with PixInsight fix it up and that, but I don't. I wait for moonless nights and that's it. But for $499, so now I'm hoping and praying. It's only a rumor. I'm hoping and praying that supposedly there's going to be a 70 coming out. And if there is ever a 70 coming out, that's the Sea Star I'm going to get.
There you go. But you know what? But the Sea Star is great. And it's really impressive, but I'm gonna tell you honestly, the Dwarf 3. Ever since I seen that, that was
impressive.
That was impressive.
Very impressive.
Because you can do so much more than what you can do with the Sea Star.
Yep.
Honestly, deep sky, solar, high speed, birding. You're doing tracking, comet tracking, plane tracking, all that stuff.
Yep.
It's damn near the same price.
Yes.
Really?
Yes,
Yep.
you're absolutely right.
What is it? What is it, Eric?
It's
the Dwarf 3.
The Dwarf 3.
Yeah.
And I'm
That was a good presentation.
It was. I'm so upset that we didn't keep that presentation.
It was just a flub in the software.
It was a flub in the software. I'm really upset, but because I'm getting that one.
If you saw the video at Starfront, did you see the rows of sea stars that they had?
Oh yes, I've seen them. Yes, it's insane.
But my thing is how do you
first thing we gotta do, Joe, is you gotta upgrade your internet because
we gotta get better internet.
You gotta get better internet.
You need an outside access point because man, you're like Max Headroom. I mean, it's
gotta get that WAP. Yeah. I have
anyway, I gotta go. I have to go help my wife.
Okay.
All right, guys.
All right.
Cool. I gotta go.
All right.
Have a good night.
Catch with you soon.
All right, Joe. I'll talk to you tomorrow.
Good night.
Later.
See you. Take care.
Yeah, I have a Dwarf 3, Jesse, and that I unfortunately haven't really been able to do much with it except look at the sun and the moon a few different times because it's just been crap for.
Here, I'll put my address in chat for you, Scott.
Oh yeah, yeah. It's just been terrible. We haven't been able to image anything in almost 2 months. So
it's bad here.
Send it to Starfront.
Yeah, but it is a very nice system.
Crazy now. See, I'm making my list of stuff that I've got to look at. If I'm gonna make my promise to be on the show here in another month, I gotta kind of get back in.
I'm gonna hold you to that.
I got 3 years of catching up on this community to figure out here. So
you'll be fine. So I'm holding you October 3rd. I'm holding you to it.
October 3rd. I think I could probably do it. Okay, October 3rd.
The first Friday every month, you're gonna be on.
I can do that. Yes. Yes. I do. I really, like I said, I'm sorry that it had to be such a,
there was a lot of people on the chat saying we miss you. Then we miss the cat with the Christmas tree.
Oh, my Foggy. Yeah. And Foggy will be moving out. I lost both my kitties this summer. If my grandcat Foggy will be moving out this fall. But
take out that Christmas tree. Didn't he take it out?
He tried really hard. He got behind here and it was shaking.
Yeah.
So, but He might be here for fall winter, so he might be here for one more Christmas tree. But he hasn't been climbing it much. So
Well,
then again, I also haven't been on the air either. So
yeah, no, it's all good. Life
hi
does happen.
everyone. No, I don't have the chat up, but hello. I've missed everybody. It's great to be back.
Yeah, life does happen. But I know that Scott and his wife came up with a little something for
Oh
Pete.
yeah, I've got it. You want me to play it?
And I know it's getting to be, it's almost 9:30. We got to do picture of the week. We got to do picture, and that kind of stuff. So yeah, why don't we? I'm curious to see what you came up with.
Okay.
Because so this is something that Scott and his wife came up with some images and some stuff that for just like a memoriam for Pete. And we're gonna put this on the website too. So go ahead.
Okay. Can you see a black screen?
6 minutes?
Yeah.
Oh my God, what'd you do?
You hear the music?
Yeah.
And Pete is
There's
on.
Pete.
And let me
Hey,
just make
Pete.
sure his. Okay, hold on. And then there was 3. We have 3.
Yes, sir.
Oh man, the prodigal son returns.
Yes. How you been, Peter?
I tell you what, my knee's feeling much better.
Good.
I mean, ACL, MCL, meniscus work on it. I mean, it was blown up about 3 times the size of my left knee, but I
Oh,
tell you, at least
man.
now I'm able to start walking around, so that's pretty good.
Oh man, that's crazy, man. Yeah,
I know.
we were talking
I know.
yesterday about it, man, and
Oh man,
I
and
would-
the funny thing is tomorrow I've got a hockey game, and I'm thinking, are you kidding me? Yeah, because it's a playoff game, and we have to play against a bunch of kids that are 45 years old, right?
you're
And
playing hockey?
I was hoping to, but I don't think I am. I mean, it's just too crazy.
Yeah, I don't know if I would do that just out of surgery. I'm not sure if that's
No,
Yeah.
I agree with you, man. Absolutely. But anyway, it's good to be back, guys. How's everybody doing?
good, man. Good, hanging
good.
in there. It's definitely. I'm actually trying to image, so if I seem a little distracted while I'm imaging and running the show and trying to talk to Scott and watch the chat box all at the same time. So
Yeah, and getting Facebook questions.
yeah.
Did you see that British Columbia was the one province that could do what Alberta and Quebec couldn't do? They were able to separate from the rest of Canada.
There you go.
Really?
You haven't heard about what's happening in British Columbia, have you?
No.
No.
Oh my God, you guys got to go check this out. I guess they've had this atmospheric river that came through. They got a month's worth of rain in 8 hours.
Oh
It has
my.
washed out all
Oh,
the
I did hear about that. Yeah.
There's no rail transportation. There's no highways that are intact to be able to bring product in. So now they're truly just isolated. And so now what they've done is they've been able to open up the U.S. border for Canadian residents because that's the only way that they're able to go around. So they have to go from like Vancouver down through Washington over to Spokane and then up that way to get actually
Wow.
through. So it's just incredible.
Wow, that's crazy. That's nuts.
Mm.
And of course,
How's things at Woodland Hills?
Hey, it's pretty busy. I've been working on a couple of big projects. I got a project for CDK-20 plane wave and an L350 mount that's got to go to New Zealand.
wow.
Um,
Let's go into
got
Simon Lewis's house.
yeah, it's a guy called Chris Murphy, and the irony is he's got a DSLR. He's got a Canon or Nikon 810A camera. I know
Okay.
that's a full frame camera, right?
Yep.
It is.
Yep.
It's the Astro.
Something?
It's the one that has the IR cut removed. It's the Astro
Yeah.
camera.
Is that what they call their F series or their Z series cameras? I don't know anything about
No.
Nikons.
That's their mirrorless. The 810A was a dedicated Astro camera DSLR, not mirrorless.
But it's a full frame sensor though, right?
It
Yes.
is.
Okay, so it's going to be definitely a YT. So that's what I've got to do. I've got to come up with the precise parts because there's absolutely no off-the-shelf secure fit plane wave fitting. So I've got to come up with something. So
It's just a standard F mount, Pete.
oh, it's an F mount then. Okay,
Yeah, it's the 810 is just an F mount. Yep.
okay. So
There you
that's
go.
what I'll use, an F mount. Perfect. Yeah, because I noticed that
Yeah,
if
I
it's a
have an
wide,
810. I don't have the A, but I have an 810. So
but if it's a full frame, that's a wide T, right? It's a wide T ring. That's kind of what I'm familiar with
Yeah, you're gonna need the
DSLR.
48, I think, on that.
yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
yeah.
Man, you're
I'm
not gonna
surprised
believe
he's using that as his imaging camera. Why isn't he going with a cooled camera?
Well, that's what I try to tell him, but he says that he doesn't have the funds. I'm going, well, wait a minute, you're spending $18,000 to get
On a plane wave.
down to New Zealand, but you don't have the money to get a dedicated a CMOS camera.
Yeah, really.
Go figure, right?
I mean, wow.
Yeah.
Wow. That's an interesting way to kind of go.
Good job.
Very nice. Very nice.
I miss him.
Man, standing next to you, Dan, I didn't realize he was such a big guy.
Yeah. Yeah.
I really
dude,
didn't. I
he's
saw him in a
my-
I saw him in a documentary on the Discovery Channel or somewhere where they were putting a telescope in down in Atacama somewhere, and
Yeah.
he was on that documentary. And he's out by himself talking and stuff. You don't realize how big he is.
Nah, the guy, when I first met him, I was like, dude, I've always seen you sitting down. I've
Yeah,
never
that's it.
seen-
Yeah, yeah, exactly.
And I'm like, holy shit, dude, you're a fucking gargantuan, man.
That's
What the
exactly
hell?
what I said when that picture came up standing next to you at your house. I'm like, holy shit.
Oh yeah,
Did not
yeah.
realize he was that big of a guy.
Yeah, he was that. Yeah, because I felt the same way. I thought he was, about my height or something like that. But then when I first met him at NEEF and everything, when I met him at the hotel, I'm like, holy
He's like
crap,
6 inches,
dude.
6 inches taller than you.
How's the air up there?
Yeah, yeah. He was a good friend to me.
He's a good friend to all of us.
Yeah. Yeah. But
Good job, Scott.
great
Yeah.
job, buddy.
Peter was one of the only guys that I really regret not actually meeting in person, but I am really grateful that I had all the time that I had with him on video and on cellular, just phone calls. Just dozens and dozens and dozens of hours, and
Well,
yeah.
Scott, tell HF thanks, and make sure that we get that like in a little section. Like, I hate to say it, but there'll be more in the future of in memoriam stuff. So we may as well make
Absolutely.
it. Well, may as well make it a memoriam page.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm all about that, brother. So yeah. Yeah, I certainly understand, his dilemma, with everybody thinks being tall is cool. And don't get me wrong, it has its advantages, but Pete and I both shared similar kind of, issue with being tall, and I have 2 inches on Pete. I'm 6'6", so,
yeah.
but yeah, he is just a great guy. He's just a great guy.
Well, let's we're
let's
probably
get the
gonna move
image of the
on to
week.
image of the week. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, Jesse, I'll show you this the image of the week here, and it'll maybe even give you a perspective here because there is a C star entry
Nice.
in here for image
There's
of
been
the
a
week.
couple of C-Star entries.
Yep.
Yeah, there's
Yeah,
been
but
several.
I'm
there's
really
Yeah.
glad to hear that. I'm really glad to hear that they are being accepted by the community because I was, listen, it was just doesn't take much to divide, but
However, I will tell you that I'm sorry, Joe. I know you're listening. I don't care what you say. There is no way a 50 millimeter C-Star is gonna come up against a TAC 106. I'm sorry.
No way.
It's not gonna happen, man. I'm sorry.
No.
We could be impressed for the price and what it comes out with. I get it.
Mhm.
Because for $4.99, but again, we say it all the time on the show, right? What is it? It's the gateway drug. It's like marijuana.
Yeah.
It's you start with marijuana, next thing you know, you're freaking
gateway scope.
fine.
You're hitting heroin and all the other hard stuff.
Yeah, so
I
I
gotta
mean,
get some more. Gotta get some more. Gotta get the better picture. And the bigger.
Exactly.
yeah. So
Yeah.
then next thing you know, you want to get a little deeper. You get an 80, then you get a 130, then you get a C911, C9, C11, whatever, and you're getting a different mount. You start off with the the C-Star mount, then you get like like an Atlas or an EQ6. Then next thing you know, you need an EQ8. It's all
there,
it
man.
just gets worse, and the
That's
hole gets
what
deeper
we've
and
always
deeper.
said, right, Dan? It's a deep,
It's-
deep, deep.
It's the red pill. It's the
Yeah.
red pill. It's the red pill.
But no, it's great that there is that for people to jump into,
Oh, absolutely.
though I gotta say though, people not going out and spending $5,000-$10,000 on a setup is probably hurting people looking to buy, used stuff. They can kind of test the waters of the $500 piece of equipment
Yeah.
instead of buying all the
Absolutely.
but seriously though, that's great that that's out there. Like my mom even got one. I'm like, and she loves it. But she has a problem finding the moon. And I'm not gonna lie, I also have had that, it's like it'll be a full moon and it'll just zip right on past and like cannot find the moon. I'm like, seriously, it's right here. It'll find anything else.
I can see it.
But it's like I can see it as it goes right past it. But it really is yeah.
You got to get the dwarf. The dwarf has the wide field and
Okay.
the narrow.
narrow,
And they
the
put them
telephoto.
in picture in picture. So yeah,
Okay.
it makes finding things like that much easier.
Okay.
And you could get it at AstroWorld telescopes.
Yep.
So here we have our last image of the week, which was
God, I love that tulip.
That is beautiful.
It was
That
Tom's
tulip is just beautiful.
Yeah.
That's Tom Peter, you maniac.
Yep.
Yeah.
So here we have this week's we had the Sagittarius star cloud rather, by Benito. We had in the North American Nebula NGC 7000 by Mark.
Yeah.
And here's the Sea Star here, Jesse.
Eagle.
This one's the Eagle by Keith with his
Okay,
Sea Star.
Could you lower that a little bit? There you go.
Yeah.
For what that is a nice looking image.
Yep.
Yeah.
I like.
Yeah, I mean, you can see the
I love
pillars
You can see the pillars.
I love it.
Exactly.
That is awesome.
Yeah.
with a
Or
freaking smart
like
telescope.
Yeah, that is like an out of the box and using it in 5-minute telescope. That is amazing. I love it.
I call it the FU finger, the pillars.
And last but not least, we have another tulip. This one was by Thomas Duff.
Yeah.
Tommy Duff, yeah.
So let's see, we had 17 votes. So
Ooh,
let's
17, huh?
Yeah, so let's go on over here. And the winner is
Ooh,
do we have a tie?
no, but it's
No, we
squeaker.
do.
Six to
It was
five.
6-5. It was 6-5. My NGC 7000 by Mark.
Hey!
There we go. So
Way to go.
congratulations there, Mark.
I told you to put it in, Mark. I told you.
There
Congrats,
you
Mark.
go. Nice.
Congratulations.
Nice. So congratulations. So I'll get this up on the website, and this will be moved on to image of the week for August.
Nice.
Image of the month rather for
Yeah,
August.
last image of the month for August.
Last image of the month. Yeah. So congratulations there, Mark.
So just so you know, I mean, with the intros that I did last Wednesday, and I don't know if you noticed that we did a 2-minute countdown.
Mhm.
Like a lot of the membership decided that a 2-minute countdown was more, I guess, more
Desirable.
beneficial than a 30-minute craziness like in a bar. But I kind of like the bar. I'm the guy that likes the peanut shells on the floor and the shitty pool table and all that guy. I'm that guy. But a lot of people wanted a 2-minute countdown with just the last couple, not like so many pictures. I ended up getting that done, and also at the end of the slideshow, I tallied up all of the pictures of the week and pictures of the month and who won what. So you could go look at that at the end of the 2-minute countdown for last Wednesday. I'll be doing it every Wednesday because we're getting close to the end of the calendar year. Because I believe that October, if I remember right, is the last one for the calendar. Because no, November, October or November is the last one for the calendar, because we want to get it out before June. So we want to get it out for Astropalooza. So which is coming up very soon. What do we got? 4 months to Astropalooza?
Yeah.
No,
This
3
year
months.
4 or year 5 for this?
This is number 4.
Very nice.
This is number 4, and I swear I'm gonna get Dylan back on. I'm gonna get him back on.
Dylan O'Donnell.
Yeah, I'm gonna get him back
Okay.
on. He owes me one. Trevor has been on the past 2 or 3 years. He's been a very good supporter of AstroWorld, Astropalooza, which has been great. Nico, who's been unbelievable.
He was on this week, wasn't he?
Yeah, it was on.
Yeah, he came
Wednesday.
on. He came on last Wednesday, but he's also been on Astropalooza, I think, twice. We gotta have Sarah back on because the big flub on the last one. So we'll have her back on. We'll have Masters of Picks Inside. We'll have a lot of the normal offenders, the usual suspects. I'm gonna try and get some unusual suspects to kind of fill in some places, because it's always good to have some new people on, not the same people every year.
I'm going to give a shout out real quick, Dan, because I actually met right around the time I started dipping off from you guys. Young man around here, local meteorologist, does astrophotography. Hunter Alton, his name is, and he's got Alton Astrophotography on YouTube. So I'm just going to kind of shout that one out too. But he does an amazing
Send me his info. We'll get him on.
I will absolutely do that. Yeah, I mean, he did, say a local guy, and it turned out he married a friend of my daughter's from middle school, so like small town, but
wow, really small town.
A very small town, but so anybody out there, check out Alton Astrophotography. Great guy. Hopefully I'll get back in touch with him if I can get back into doing some imaging. But just real nice guy and does some beautiful imaging. So
is that Alton?
It's Outten.
Okay.
Outten.
Outten.
Yeah, his name's Hunter Alton.
Okay.
Real nice guy, and just I mean, he does it for I actually, because I follow his weather channel. Like he's got a local weather channel that I watch, and he happened to be posting up pictures of astrophotography. I'm like, wait a minute, somebody local that does this? Oh my gosh. So of course I had to reach out to him. Like 5 seconds later, he sent me a friend request. So, but just great guy.
Yeah. T-E-N Astrophotography.
Yeah, it's O-U-T-T. Let me just hang on.
Oh yeah, don't be telling me that it's something else now.
No, I think it's O-U-T-T-E-N. O-U-T-T-E-N.
Yeah, we gotta get Dylan back on. We gotta get Dylan's PP3 on.
Yeah, I know, right?
Yeah, it's O-U-T-T-E-N, Astrophotography.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
All right, cool. Yeah, definitely check that out. Yeah, but send me his information and
Will
maybe we'll
do.
get him on the show beforehand. Maybe you want. I know that Starfield, Steve Molly is going to be on this year. I'm sure Wilfredo will be happy to come hang out again.
Nice.
Plus, you know, the because hey, Wilfredo, your solar shit is ridiculous. I mean, it's been really really cool watching you grow with the solar as you know astrophotography. It's been an amazing journey. I love watching you get so much better at your photos, man. It's great. I'm living vicariously through you because I don't do shit anymore. So
I really appreciate that. Thank you.
you know it's really really cool. You know, and that's you know, and it just shows in your subscriber rate, and it shows in the people that are interested in you. Really nice job getting the word out, and I mean the picture behind you is just stupid. I mean it's ridiculous.
Thank you. Appreciate that.
Stupid in a good way, you know.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
That's the New York stupid, not like the
Well,
Georgia stupid.
well, one of these,
Oh, hey,
yeah,
hey.
one of these days, I'll get I'll be able to take some pictures like this from the Boeing Observatory, you know, where I volunteer and I teach it's like every second Saturday of this of the month. But they've got a Lunt 80, and hopefully we can get stuff like this going from them. But yeah,
Nice.
I'm looking forward to
Well,
Astropalooza
I'm
for
planning to
sure.
come down to Savannah eventually, you know, maybe sometime this year.
I'll
So,
meet you. Yes.
so I got a lot of friends down there that will be shocked as shit to see me. But you know, I lived there for 2 years, and it was a lot, very interesting. Turned into a closet alcoholic for about 2 years, but it was okay. And it's definitely a nice area. If there's one thing I could say about Savannah, I said it's the only city I've seen St. Patty's Day in about 6 different major cities across the U.S. Okay, I'm an Irish guy. I just like St. Patty's Day. The best St. Patty's Day in the country is Savannah, without a doubt. River Street, they dye the you know they dye the river freaking green. You walk down on the right side, and not to mention the fact it's 70 degrees in the middle of March. You know, it's beautiful. You know, you go to New York and go to St. Patty's Day parade, your nuts are frozen. I mean, it is so bad. It is freezing. I did that one year, and I swear to God, I never do it again. Never do it
Same,
again. But
same with Chicago, man. Same with Chicago.
Savannah,
It's
yeah,
freezing.
Chicago, the same thing, right?
They
Something.
dye the Chicago River green there, but
Yeah,
yeah,
but it's
it's
frozen.
freezing. It's freezing. It's freezing.
All they got to do is throw paint across it because it's a frozen slick.
Yeah, pretty
You know,
much.
at least in Savannah, it's actually water and not ice.
Yeah,
You know, so you know,
that's
That's
it.
southern Georgia for you. You know, it's like Central
Yeah.
Florida. You know,
yeah. I lived there for a long time, for 2 full years, and I had a lot of good time, met a lot of good friends, and
Georgia's wonderful.
It
what's
is.
that?
I said
Georgia's
Georgia's
wonderful.
wonderful.
Yeah, I
It
mean,
is.
well, Savannah is known throughout the throughout the world as the most haunted city in the United States, and it isn't for a reason. Go on the ghost tour, and you'll see what I mean.
Hubby and
Yeah.
I were there a few years ago at Christmas time, and they canceled our tour. Darn
The
it.
ghost tour.
They did.
Sorry.
Well, Robin and Katie are going, I believe, next month to meet up with my sisters there, and I know they'll be doing all that fun stuff. So they're having a whole girls, weekend thing, and so let them go and do all that stuff, and let them go to Forsyth Park. I'm gonna get over there too, but let them go do all that stuff.
Go on the river cruise. Go on the
Yeah.
river cruise. It is awesome. It is beautiful. It really is.
Okay. Nice. Well, guys, it's about that time.
Yep.
Again, thank you all for joining us on this special, Zoom. We really appreciate it. We really appreciate everybody who was able to share some great memories about Pete. We'll have more of them, in the future, and more and more moments, of memoriam, in memoriam for him. Again, congrats there to Mark for his NGC 7000. And, you know, he'll be going into Image of the Month here. Don't forget to like the show, give thumbs ups, all that stuff when you get a chance. You know, and remember, as Pete said, you know, when you're gonna be getting, you know, you're spending this kind of money, you know, on this stuff, buy once, cry once. You know, think about what you're doing before you just go off and do it.
Yeah.
You know, but besides that, again, thank you guys. Really appreciate everybody hanging out with us. Scott, great video. Thank you to you and your wife. Really appreciate that. But yeah, we'll see everybody next Wednesday. Really hope to see everybody on. And until then, keep imaging, keep educating, clear skies, and
Good night,
we will
everybody.
see y'all every next time. Take care, everybody.
Take care, everybody.
Cheers, Pete.
See ya.
Oh, is that me? Do I have to turn it off?
Yes, you have to turn it off. I'm not in control of it right now.
I forgot it. All right, we're out.